And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. For those that are new to our broadcast, welcome. Glad you all could join us. I also want to say hello to those joining us on the simulcast, as we're also on Facebook, YouTube, X, as well as on Instagram. If you guys are new to us here on Amazon, we do invite you guys to hit the follow button. You see it either here in this corner or down below. You will also see the book by our next guest. Going to go ahead and wait for the Amazon audience to join us here. And they're now here with us on the Amazon Live side as well. You see the book by Patience Igwe here. It's called Unbroken. We're going to talk to her not only about the writing of the book, but also the sharing of her story, what it's been like for her to let other people know what she's been able to come through, but also what's possible for all of us when we continue to move forward towards our challenges. If you guys are new to Patience, we'll let you know how to stay connected with her and all the great things that she's doing. Patience, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, Patience, this is exciting. You and I just met in person today for the first time, but I've had a chance to start reading your book, Unbroken, before today. And what I love so far about the book is, for one thing, your honesty, but also your bravery in being able to do what you've been able to do. What has it been like for you to share that with all of us in your book?
Well, the most important thing for me is to tell my story, knowing that I'm able to connect with other people who may come from similar background, have the same experiences, because like somebody said, a problem shared is a problem half solved. Yeah. So I believe that there are so many people out there whose lives will be touched by my story, or whose experiences are similar exactly as mine.
Yeah. Patience, there are a lot of people out there who wonder if their story is worth telling. I was really fascinated by my grandmother before she died. She had lived through 20 presidents in the United States. Yes. And she told me she didn't think anything special was about her life. But what made you know that your story was special enough to share it with other people?
What made me think that my story is worth sharing is who I am today.
Yeah.
Because at the tender age of 16, which is in most young girls' lives, is a vulnerable time of their year, of the time. Mm-hmm. That was when my mother passed. My mother was my best friend, as well as my mother. So when she passed, I was lost. Mm. I felt lost. I didn't know which way to go. So, but one thing that kept me going was all the stuff that she used to tell me, the advice, those motherly things she would tell me, don't do this, don't do that, which at the time didn't really make sense to me. Yeah. But when she died and I felt like I was alone, and those words started coming back to me, and they started uplifting my spirit, because I was crying most of the times. I would cry myself to sleep. I would wonder how I'm going to move on in life, because she was the only person that I related to closely on a day-to-day basis. So when I looked at all the challenges and all the rough edges that I went through at that time, and then look at myself today, having my own family, my beautiful, intelligent children, supportive husband, I believe that those words that she told me when I was very young, that didn't make sense to me, actually woke me up. Yeah. So I feel that there are people out there who may be feeling lost, or who may be thinking they can't make it in life, but all they have to do is go back and think and look at people who are surrounding them, who have given them inspiration that they probably didn't realize at the time. If they go back and think on those words and reflect on those words, they'll be able to pick themselves up. And that's what worked for me. I was able to pick myself up from all the words that my mom told me when she was alive that I didn't take seriously, but they became my guide, my daily guide.
I love that.
Yes.
And there's so many of us, as you mentioned, Patience, who have that person. My grandmother was that person for me. I lost her in 2014, but I got a chance to be her primary caregiver the last 9 years of her life. And she was that person who really poured into me and reminded me what I could do, and including the day before she died, telling me how she felt about me. I want to talk about now what that's been like for you to be for other people. You mentioned your family, and you mentioned now others that are now finding out about your book. We're going to remind them, Patience, that they can get it. How does that feel now to be that person for other people to let them know that they're not alone.
And that is the whole idea of writing the book.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote all my experiences, all the people that have supported me in different ways.
Yeah.
So that in writing this book, I'm also giving back.
Yeah.
Because by reading, I believe that by reading, we learn. So by people reading and hearing my stories, they can get inspiration. And me writing that book, I am ready to share my story, which I have done. And that is my way of telling people, you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I can talk directly to those people. I can speak to their language. I can really feel what they're feeling because I have gone through that path.
Love that. One of the things we also have in common, Patience, and it's so interesting, I found out so much about you through this book. One of the things that Patience and I have in common is our love of teachers.
Yes.
You talk about that in the book, about the teachers that really impressed you.
My life.
Talk about that, because a lot of people don't realize this, Patience. I grew up with a speech impediment. I stuttered as a child.
Oh.
And it was a teacher in my middle school that stayed after school. And for whatever reason, she saw something in me. She worked with me. And after middle school, I no longer had a stutter. What was it like for you to reflect on the teachers who made an impact on you? I don't want to mess up her name, but is it pronounced Mrs. Letitia?
Letitia?
Yeah. Talk to us about teachers like that, what it was like for you to reflect on their impact on your life.
Great. Letitia Ogali was the principal of the all-girls secondary school that I went to in Nigeria. I'm originally from Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria. I went to an all-girls secondary school. That is one of the premier secondary schools in Rivers State. She was the principal at the time when I was a student there. When I tell you that somebody is a teacher and a mother and everything in one, that is Letitia. At the time, though, we thought she was too strict. Being young girls as we were, we
Right.
thought she was too strict. We thought she was just too strict on us. But by the time I left the four walls of that school, which every student who has left that school will testify that the spirit, the discipline, the personality that she made us become aware is from her teachings. She was stern, rules are rules. And sometimes some parents did not like it, but when they saw the finished product, when they saw their children, how we carried ourselves, how we ambitious we became in life, how straight we wanted to become or how we became, they appreciate. There is no student, there is no parent whose child went to that school who is not proud of Letitia. She was very protective of us, just like her own children. She made sure that we followed rules. She made sure that we understand the reason to follow rules. And she made sure that we learn. She made sure that teachers understood that they were there to teach and protect, not just teach.
Yeah.
Teach and protect, especially the male teachers. She was very protective of us. And she made it clear to the male teachers, I don't want any of you messing around with my girls. And she was that stern and she was that true to that statement. So we all grew and left that school like we didn't just go to school, we were raised by another mother. And the same spirit, the same discipline, she impacted on all her teachers to make sure we were protected. And that's what we all got out of living ACMGS. Today in North America, we have a strong organization of alumni, or what we call Old Girls Association. It's a very, very strong association in America. You need to see when we go on conventions, we all behave like we are all teenagers again. We try to mimic our teachers. We try to mimic how each of them talk to us and disciplined us, and it is fun. So that will tell you the culture that existed in that school and the culture that we still carry with us to today.
Love that.
Yes.
For those who are just tuning in, welcome. You all are watching Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live primarily, but we are simulcasting on Facebook, YouTube, X, and on Instagram. I'm speaking with author Patience Igwe today. She's the author of this book, Unbroken. For those joining us on the Amazon side, you will see it in our carousel there. So if you're joining us on your desktop or laptop, you will see it either here in this corner or down below. You also will see that follow button here. Make sure you guys hit the follow button. We're here in Columbus, Ohio today for Colette Harrell's Literary Writers Brunch. I had a great time today. Patience was there with me and a lot of great individuals. Patience, I want to talk about this experience for you and meeting other authors and being able to hear other experiences. What was it like for you at the Writers Brunch today to be able to be around other authors and hear from them?
Amazing. Very amazing. So today's event at the Authors Brunch, I was talking with a friend about my book, and then she introduced me to the organizer of today's event, Colette.
Mm-hmm.
So when I spoke with Colette, she's like, well, you came at the right time because I'm about to have this event. I would like for you to join me. That way you can meet other authors who are in the business for years and some of them who are upcoming like you. So I decided to come, and I will tell you that I am happy that I came because what I learned, the community that I have built just today in 3 or 2 hours is great. Mm-hmm. And I feel and I believe that this community is going to help me because I am an emerging author, and what I have learned is inspirational. Mm-hmm. It's going to help me in my journey through this career of writing. And I do want to transition from being a registered nurse to an author because I am realizing that I have this passion to express myself through writing.
Love that.
So it's a great event. And I will come again if she invites me.
There you go. I enjoyed it as well. Hope one, hello to you. Good to be able to see you over there on IG as well. And I see you guys over there on Amazon Live as well. If you guys have any questions or comments for Patience, make sure you guys can put those in the comment section for us. YouTube, I see you guys over there too. If you guys have any questions, the comment section is open. I want to talk to you. I didn't ask you this question, so let me ask you about what you just said. Patience, you are a published author. Has that something that sunk in that people can literally buy your book anywhere in the world?
I am elated. I am happy about that. And it hasn't really sunk in yet, but it's there. The reason is because a friend of mine called me yesterday. My daughter could bear a witness. We were having dinner when he called. I'm like, so I answered. He's like, I bought your book. So he kind of, I said, really? He said, yes. He said, I just wanted to let you know that I bought your book. And I also want to let you know that you have such a great writing style that I couldn't keep the book down because each chapter prompted me to go on, to know what is there, to know what's next. So I said, I'm glad that I'm able to create that kind of, it's like curiosity. Yeah. You want to know what's next. Yeah. So I said, wow, okay, that's something good. Yeah. So he called me and said that, and I'm like, so then in my head, I'm like, I'm an author. Yeah. So somebody's reading my book. Yeah. And people are reading. I mean, a lot of my friends have actually bought the books and they sent me pictures of them holding the books. That makes me feel happy.
Of course.
It makes me feel really happy because, like one of the presenters said today, she's like, you cannot write book in your head. Yes. You got to bring it out. Yeah. So for me to be able to bring what is in my head out for people to read and actually enjoy, makes me feel good.
Okay. Yes. Well, I know it's only the first of many Patience, and so glad we had a chance to talk and to meet today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. And I'm hoping and believing that this is the first, but I have that ambition to make it not be the last.
There you go.
Yes.
Again, everyone, Patience Igwe has been our guest here on Amazon Live with her book, Unbroken. You can get your copy today on paperback as well as a Kindle edition. You can get the paperback there for $20. You guys can see it in the carousel there on Amazon, or you can be able to get the Kindle edition there. I'm going to highlight it for you for $5.99. So make sure you guys go over there, get your own copy. For those tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, We have the link there for you guys to be able to come over to Amazon to get the book for yourself. For those joining us on X, we'll put it in the comment section for you. For those joining us on IG, I'll put it in my stories as well. Patience, how can our audience stay connected with you?
You can connect me on Facebook. You can connect me on Instagram. You can connect me on Amazon.
Okay.
I have an author's page
Okay.
that has been recently opened. So go into all those sites and I'll be able to connect with you.
Love that. And we'll make sure that we tag her as well. Patience, looking forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you so much.
And more than
for
welcome.
having me.
Glad to do it. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, I'm Cyrus Webb, and thank you so much for being with us. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Bye.